for that, I was like, okay, what's the best way? I cannot keep like taking multiple classes because I teach classes on Saturdays and Sundays and Thursdays. But at some point, that's going to become exhausting, both to me and the resources, the finite resources are just going to like die out, right? So I wanted something that would be easily accessible for some.
Talking about finite resource, right? And I've attended your classes. Unfortunately, I couldn't follow through for various reasons. I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Uh, so how, because that is a very intense class. When I say very intense class, what I loved about those classes is I was very regular for I think 8 sessions. And then though it was called Bhagavad Gita classes, it was explanation of your daily routine, what is happening to people today, and how do you use that as a tool or an aid to overcome your obstacles or overcome what you're going through using that, right?
Yeah.
So how would you want to bring that to life? Are you planning to do like a series of books? Like how would you want to do that? Because that is very, very practical. And I think this, I'm sure this one also would be useful for every single person, but that one from any age to any age. And we had people from like different ages.
Well,
There
we're
was
up to 65 years old.
exactly
Yeah.
right. And everybody could relate to it in different ways.
Yeah.
So how are you planning to bring that to life?
Um, you bring up a good point. Let's take Bhagavad Gita, right? The practicality and the beauty of the book is just amazing, right? It just goes on to like the very first chapter, right? It's titled Arjuna Vishada Yuga, right? It's like a person who's extremely depressed, who doesn't want to do anything. In fact, he's contemplating suicide at that point, right? And to lift him up from that situation and then to walk him through the path of liberation and then finding liberation, not just by like, shutting off himself, but still doing in his day-to-day tasks, in his duties, following his dharma. That is the potential of Bhagavad, right? Now, we are not Arjunas, but we still have our own duties and obligations to, our family or, to the apartment bills or whatever it is, right? How do you find your liberation through these mundane tasks? Because after a point, it's like you've been in the industry for like what, 15 years now, right? It's like, is it all just the same work? You lose motivation at that point, right? So how do you find that freshness? How do you still stick to that path with everlasting inquisitiveness or curiosity, right? To the point where it makes you like, oh man, when I'm doing my work, I just get immersed in it. I'm just taken aback and a part of Raghu doesn't exist. And then totally into it. That ekagrata, that one-pointed focus, right? Bhagavad Gita is that kind of. Unfortunately, what our um, previous generations, not all, a few of them have done is reduce this book to its presence only when someone dies in the book. And I was like, this book teaches you how to live, and you've reduced it to a tape recorder playing when you go to someone's funeral, right? And my essential part of these trainings was bring it back, and make it relatable to what a person is doing in their day-to-day life. Now, again, how do I, make it widely accessible to everyone? I think is through books, and fortunately, I have friends like you, so through podcasts as well.
I would definitely want to do like, I don't know if I mean I'm open for suggestion too. This might be too much information, but I would want to do a spin-off like because I feel there's so much like essence to it. Like we should do episode by episode, just like class by class. Even if I can record it, I would love to, or just do one-on-one the same classes.